I'm going to go ahead and start seated, but you're more than welcome to come all the way down. What we're going to do is have the bolster or the folded blanket for our knees. And you're going to use the rolled blanket along your spine. And again, if you have just blankets, you'll have one folded underneath your knees and one along your spine. If you find that your head does not rest on your blanket and you have a book or a block, you could use that for your head. We just want to make sure that the head isn't too much higher than the shoulders, and you can allow your arms to rest outward. And we'll start our breathing and meditation in that way. All right, so just taking time to, again, find yourself with the long rolled blanket along your spine, some kind of support underneath your knees. And if you need more elevation for your head, finding something to fully support your head. And start with a few exhalations through the mouth. And feel the props underneath you. Right, so feel yourself physically connecting to the blankets or the bolster or the block. And everything that surrounds that prop, just surrender, just letting go. Just feeling yourself drifting over those props, sinking towards the earth. Very conscious relaxation of all the muscles that surround the face. And maybe this is the first time today you're listening to your breath. Thank yourself for communicating enough quietude to listen to the sound of your breath. And just continue to feel yourself releasing and relaxing and breathing deeply. And invite yourself to know a few breaths, beginning to expand the bottom of your belly. So we have the ability to know the vital energy that resides within the breath. And focus and move it throughout our body. And coming back to that fullness of your lungs, expanding your lungs outward into space. Nice, generous inhales. Exhaling back in. Just resting with that breath a few more moments. And then deepen your breath. And as you deepen your breath, feel your arms reach in length. And bring your elbows down the sides, sweeping your fingertips together, reaching up towards the ceiling, in line with the body, lots of length. Again, exhale, elbows down the sides. I'm just trying that maybe 2 or 3 more times. Reaching. And elbows bend. Invite the liftedness of your lungs. Maybe once more. And as you rest your hands back to the earth with your palms facing up, just step your feet to that surface that was supporting your knees. And find a very subtle, gentle movement from side to side. Notice the massage between the shoulder blades. You can move your head just a little bit, but opposite of your knees. And then as you come back to center, just balancing along the spine, let's take another reach with the arms. Keep your knees bent. Feel the elevation of the chin. Continue to stretch through the shoulder sockets. Might feel nice to interlace your fingers. And then letting your palms rest back to the earth. Just simply roll to a side of the body so that you can remove whatever is along your spine. And then roll back. And once you find your spine on the mat, we'll take another reach with the arms, stretching the arms. And as you exhale, you'll notice that rocking of the pelvis. We're going to root down into the low back. Just try that a few times. As you inhale, we feel the curvature of the spine. And exhale, rooting along the spine. Just a few more times. And then interlace your fingers, place your hands behind your skull. See if we can elevate the chin, elevate the jaw, squeeze those elbows in, trying to reach the elbows towards your knees. Just taking a breath there. And as your head comes back down, reach your arms again in length. And then we'll exhale, pull the right knee in. And that might be clasping behind the knee. It might be clasping on top of the knee. Let's find a few exhalations through the mouth. If you would like, you can extend your left leg. And then if your left leg is extended, let's step that foot back to that surface. We're going to hold the top of the right knee, bring the right knee over to the right side as you take your left arm straight out from the shoulder. And then simply let your left knee drop over to the left side. So the right knee is reaching towards the right shoulder and the left knee is just dropping to the left. And then using the right hand, just start to make circles with that right knee. And maybe a few times in the opposite direction. And then continuing to let the left knee drop out, we're just going to extend the right leg. So the right leg is probably going to rest over the ankle or the foot. And we'll reach with the arms in length. And as you reach with your arms in length, interlace your fingers behind your skull and bring your shoulders over to the right corner of the mat, creating a little bit curvature in that left side body. From there, you might reach again with your arms and then feel the left knee drifting towards the earth. All right, so we're inviting curvature to the left side of the body. It's like a reclined dancing tree pose. We can feel the expansion of the left lung beginning to fully stretch along the left side. See if you can stay for 3 more full breaths. And then carefully bring your shoulders back. And we'll reach with our arms in length. Send your right foot to the sky. And point and flex through your foot. If you want to hold behind the right knee, that's okay too. And some rotations of your ankle. And then we'll go ahead and bend the right knee, bring that knee towards your belly. We're going to bring our left knee back upright, extend the left leg out. Just breathing there. If you want to activate your left leg, toes would be towards the sky and you can reach through the bottom of the left heel. And then see if you can allow your right foot to step to the outside of your left leg. And then reach with your arms. Interlace your fingers maybe, elevate your chin. And as your hands come down, we're going to pull both knees in towards your belly. So now you'll bend your left knee as well. You might be able to clasp your ankles, or you might just be holding the top of the right knee. And as you release your legs, we're going to take our legs out to the side, and you might hold inside the knee for a moment. There could be a little micro bend in your knees if you need to, just breathing there. If you're able to straighten your legs and keep them out, flex your toes in towards your shins. Just feeling and experiencing this straddle pose. It's wonderful to stimulate the kidney and the liver meridians of the body. Just a few more breaths. And then keeping your hands inside of the knee, we'll bring the legs back. And we'll go ahead and bend the knees and just bring the knees gently towards your belly. Find a few exhalations through the mouth. Start to relax the bottom of your belly, releasing along your spine. And then see if you can step your right foot to the earth, the bolster or the blanket, whatever's there. Continue to hug your left knee in. And then releasing the right arm out, pulling the left knee to the left side, letting the right knee drop to the right side. And you might use your hand to move around in a few circles with the left knee. Try and explore both directions of movement. And extending your left leg straight out, reaching long with your arms, interlace your fingers, maybe pointing and flexing through the bottom of your left foot. And we'll bring our shoulders over to the left corner of the mat. We're reaching with the arms. If you need to release your left arm straight out from the shoulder, that's okay too. Just finding a few breaths, stimulating that right side body and right lung. And then slowly bring your shoulders back to center. We'll take another reach with the arms. And pulling your left knee back in. Drawing the right knee back to the sky, extending the right leg out. Continue to hug your left knee for a moment. And then sending the left leg to the sky, working on pointing and flexing, maybe some rotations of your ankle. And we'll step our left foot to the outside of the right leg. Reach with your arms again, interlace your fingers. Just breathing there for a few moments. And then carefully draw the knees in, maybe clasping the ankles or shins, maybe just holding the tops of your knees. And this time, as your legs move out to the sides, we're all going to bend the knees and pull the knees in towards the belly. If you're comfortable reaching with peace sign fingers in between and clasping your big toes, extending your feet to the sky, you're more than welcome to try that variation. Another variation would be holding the sides of the feet. Otherwise, just comfortably hold the back of your knees. Right? You decide. Let's see if I can stay for about 7 breaths here. So the knees are drawing towards the side body. You can let your heels broaden, maybe elevating the bottom of your feet towards the ceiling. See if you can breathe all the way down to the bottom of your belly. And again, notice along your spine. It's really good for your lungs to try to breathe when you're reclined. It's going to add the element of gravity weighing on the body. So you have to work a little harder, right? Really try to expand your lungs, expand your diaphragm. Very intentional breath. Try for one more breath. And wherever you are, slowly bring the knees back towards your belly, reach your arms in length. And one by one, extend your legs all the way out, reaching with the fingers, reaching with the shoulders. Maybe point and flex through the bottom of your feet. Walk the shoulders further away. And then we'll bring our arms down to the sides. As you invite your knees back in towards your belly, you're going to just roll to whichever side feels most comfortable for you. And we're helping ourselves up. We're going to leave the bolster or the blanket on the mat, but make our way to hands and knees. And your hands will be on top of that prop. Once you feel that your knees are about hip-width distance, we're just going to find a few rounds of cat-cow. Just slowly moving your spine, focusing especially on the space of the mid-back, the shoulders. And then we're just going to rest ourselves back, allowing your forearms to rest on whatever prop you have there. You could interlace your fingers if that feels okay. Letting your head rest between your arms. Just feel the heaviness of your skull, that stretch of the arms and shoulders. And then as you rise back up, we're going to move ourselves forward until your belly is supported on whatever prop you have there. Lowering yourself down, just come to your forearms and just feel the stretch of your legs, but feel the belly supported on this prop. And for a few moments, just sinking into your shoulders, trying to breathe nice and deep and feel that pressure on your belly. So again, it might be slightly difficult to breathe. We're putting some pressure on the organs of the body and definitely our diaphragm. It's helping to create some tone to the muscles of the body, some tone to the organs of the body. And you're more than welcome to stay there for just a few more breaths. If you're comfortable, walk your hands forward and think of like Sphinx pose or seal pose. It's very similar to an upward facing dog, but we have the support of this prop along the belly. Can soften your shoulders away from your ears. You might be just rested on your forearms still, and that's okay. We're going to take 5 more breaths, whichever version you've chosen. Focus on breathing deeply into the bottom of your belly. Last breath. And if your elbows are elevated, lower yourself down. We're going to use our palms and push ourselves up and back. Just resting in child's pose again, so your arms can stay supported on that prop, letting your head rest between your shoulders. Wonderful. All right, from here, we're going to rise up and go ahead and set whatever prop is on your mat off to the side. And we'll return back to hands and knees. And just take a few traditional cat-cows here, rounding your spine and sinking your belly. And notice where the movement is focused. Is it more focused in your pelvis? Is it more focused in your shoulders or your mid-back? We're going to make our way to just one downward facing dog today. So just walk your hands a little further forward. Take a moment to tuck your toes. As you push those palms forward, you can elevate your knees. Let your head rest right between your arms. And find 5 breaths, your 5 breaths. And coming back, if you're not back, just resting on the knees. From here, we're going to walk the hands back in a little closer. Step back with your right foot, and once you tuck your toes, just create some activation in that right leg and lift your right leg up off the mat. Give yourself a little pulse of the leg here. Start to feel that extension from the right hip socket, but maybe some engagement in your glute muscles. Notice your belly as well. Just working the core muscles here a little bit. See if you can lift up out of your shoulders. Feel all of your fingers supporting you here. And then releasing that right knee back in. And we'll try the left side. So again, first start with the tucking of the toes. You can keep your knee and your toes down. And then elevate. Lifting up through the belly. And give yourself that little pulse. Good, just another breath. And then let that knee return. Once you return, let's press back for child's pose. And we'll slowly shift ourselves back up to tabletop. Let's step to the outside of the right hand with the right foot. Placing your hand on that right knee. Just moving forward and back. And the next time you shift forward, you might just gaze over to the right side. Your hand could stay on your leg, or if you're comfortable, reach with your right hand to the sky. Try and deepen your breath. And as the right hand returns, you're going to elevate your right toes, turn them over towards the right corner. And as you gaze to the right corner, let's just move forward and back a few times. So we're lunging with this external rotation in the right hip. Just a few times, forward and back. If you need a little bit more support for your left hand, you can always make a fist and rest on your fist. Taking the impact off your wrist. Great. And then your toes come back and your hands come back. And we'll step back with our right foot. And take a moment, reset in child's pose. We'll roll our spine to an upward facing dog. So shift forward and take your belly along, lengthening through your legs, pressing into your palms. And then moving back to tabletop, we'll step forward with our left foot. Once your hand is on the inside, we'll just bring the hand to the knee and move forward and back. And again, you're always more than welcome to make that fist. And just use that to support your right arm. And the next time you lunge forward, we're going to gaze to the left side. Maybe your left hand stays on the leg. Maybe you're reaching to the sky. Inviting the left hand back to the knee. Elevate your toes, turn them to the left corner. Make sure you're gazing towards the left side as you move forward and back. So as you're working on creating muscle body in your left leg, you can always use that fist, right? As you start to build a little bit more muscle in the legs of the body, you'll learn to contract through the inner thighs a little bit and be able to support. Wherever you are, just honoring that forward and backward movement, using lots of breath. And then we'll realign our toes. And once the hands come back, we invite the left knee back. Let's see if we can reach our right leg back lifted again. And as you round your spine, you're going to tuck your head. See if you can bring your knee towards your forehead. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach back, look out. Exhale, knee and forehead. Good. Once more, breathing, reaching. And exhale in. Setting the right knee down. Shift back, reaching with your left leg. And exhale, knee in. Big breath, reach and stretch, look out. Exhale, knee in. Again, 1 more time. Reach and lengthen. And exhale, knee in. And then once the knee comes down, rest yourself back to child's pose. Maybe on the forearms, maybe allowing the forehead to rest towards the earth. And we're going to move forward to tabletop again. Make our way all the way to the belly. So however you like to move your body, to move all the way to your belly. Once you arrive, we're going to cross the forearms in front of each other so that the forearms and the elbows are supporting. And then take a little gaze over to the right side. Tuck your toes and see if you can elevate your knees for a moment. Feel the movement forward of your rib cage. And then same thing, just gazing over to the left side, moving forward with your rib cage. And then relax your knees, and you can take your hands out. You might make a pillow with your hands, rest your forehead. Exhaling through the mouth. And then slowly walk your hands back in. Make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders here. We're going to make a fist with our left hand and bring that fist over to the right side of the mat. Using your right hand to support you here, you're going to look over and tip yourself over until you're just in a little bit version of side plank here. So your feet are stacked. We're going to push through the big toe side of the foot so that we feel as though we would be standing on the ground. You might reach your right arm up to the sky, or you might just put your right hand on your hip. That's up to you. Just a little balance here. Try and lift out of the left shoulder. Yes, just breathing there. Maybe gazing upward towards your right palm. And then the right hand comes back down. And as the right hand comes back down, we're going to see if we can lift our right leg up. And then take it back down. We're going to try that 3 times. Any height you want to lift, just try your best. Lift up. And then come back down. Good. Nice inhale, lift up. And then back down. Let's do it one more time. Inhale up. And exhale back down. Wonderful. Roll back over to your belly. Once you roll over to your belly, we're making a fist with the right hand, bringing that fist over towards the left side. Use your left hand. Tip yourself over. Stack your feet. As you look down towards your feet, push through the big toe side of the foot again. Maybe the left hand is on the hip. We're going to rise out of that right shoulder, maybe lifting to the sky with the left hand. See if we can take 5 to 6 breaths here. Again, keep pushing through the big toe side. Keep your feet stacked. Still lifting out of your right shoulder. And then the left hand comes down, and we'll do a couple lifts here. Left leg up, exhale down. Good. Inhale up, exhale down. Do 2 more. And then roll back to your belly. Walk your arms out this time. Take a nice full body stretch. Now take your feet about hip width distance and glue your big toes to the ground. We're going to reach our hands back. And as you reach your hands back, try and lift your sternum, lift your heart, lift your shoulders, lift your palms. Just breathing there, find that little float. There might be an ebb and flow, a gentle rise and fall as you're breathing. Toning the muscles along the spine and of the belly and the abdomen, and the muscles that surround the chest. Find 3 more breaths, just 3 more. Keep your hands lifted. Lots of work. Arms reaching. Last one. And then make that pillow with your hands and rest your forehead. All right, and from here, we'll bring the hands next to the rib cage. Rise yourself back up. Press back for child's pose. And then forward to tabletop or forward to upward facing dog. We're just going to do that 3 times. And again, if you're not comfortable straightening your legs all the way, that's okay. You can just do tabletop to child's pose. Wonderful. All right. As you come back to center, we're going to go ahead and make our way all the way to our back again. Once you come down to your back, you're going to take a nice full body stretch. And then drawing both knees in, give yourself a gentle hug. Maybe some movements from side to side. And then we're going to carry the knees over to the right side fully. Maybe walk your shoulders over a little bit. Swing your shin bones forward until your knee and your ankle is in line. Resting both arms out to the sides. Let's stay for 5 breaths. Focus on your mid-back, your thoracic spine. Focus on the expansiveness of your lungs. Focus on softening your abdomen, releasing into this twist. And then see if you can place your right hand behind your left knee and extend your legs out straight. Take 2 more breaths here, reaching through the feet. And then carefully bring the knees back into bent. And we'll roll to our back. Once you roll to the back, just freely rock from side to side. Letting the arms rest and then just rolling all the way to the outer edges of your hips. And the next time you roll to the left side, let your knees rest together. If you need to readjust your shoulders, you can. Let your palms face up. Swing those feet forward a little bit. Get your shin bones in line with your knees. We're still in a bent knee here. Just that there's a line from the top of the knee all the way to the bottom of the foot. A little softer in the lungs. A little heavier in your hips. And this time, allowing the left hand to rest behind your right knee. Extend your legs all the way out, pushing through the bottom of your feet. And then carefully come back to a bent knee and roll to your back. Let's take another full body stretch. All right, let's pull the right knee in and start to make big circles with the right knee. And if you would like to do it freely, you could just rest your right arm out and work on free movements around in circles. Try moving in both directions. Circles in one direction, maybe outward and then inward. And you could alternate between one direction and the other direction as you go. And the next time you come in, just relax that right leg. Let's try the left side. You might use your hand, just moving that knee around. It might be freely moving. Try both directions. And as that knee comes in, extend it out. Let's take another full body stretch. And then step your feet to the earth, and you're going to interlace your fingers here for a moment. Try and lift your head and reach your knuckles in between your knees. Just breathing there. Try and lift yourself and hold for a moment. Make sure you're breathing. And then reach full body stretch. Arms and legs all the way up. This time, interlace your fingers. You're going to bend your knees and let your heels float. Reach forward towards your heels. Two more breaths. Full body stretch, arms and legs reaching. Wonderful. Let's bring the hands down. Walk your feet over to the right corner of your mat, and then slowly move your shoulders over to the right corner of your mat. Once you do that, if it's comfortable for you, you might cross your left ankle over your right, and just breathe there. And then releasing your arms back to the sides, move your shoulders back, uncross your feet. Let's take that full body stretch. Carefully walking your feet over to the left corner. Carefully moving your shoulders over to the left corner. You might cross your right ankle over your left. Arms could be reaching or arms could be down. And then carefully, if the arms are reaching, release your arms, bring your head back, unwind your feet, bring your feet back. Take another full body stretch. Move your ankles in and out. So you're moving all the way up to the top of the hip socket. Move your femur bones. And we'll step our feet to the earth. Take your feet wide, drop your knees inward towards each other, and then root all the way down into your low back. Place your hands on your belly. Let's focus maybe 7 breaths, feeling that firmness of the belly, feeling the bottom of your rib cage elevate and your lungs elevate. So your hands are there to support and encourage you to keep the hollowness to your belly. Very little rise through the belly. Try and keep it in the upper portion of your lungs. And release your arms out to the sides. Relax your belly, just coming back to the natural softness. Rock your knees left to right. And then take your time, rolling over to whichever side is most suitable for you. We're going to come up to seated for a moment. And you're going to choose your props. Again, we want to make sure that we have something to support underneath your knees. So that could be a bolster or a blanket. So just something that lightly supports the knees. And find something that would support the back of your skull once we come back down. Before we come down, we're just going to take a moment to make sure that the knees are over whatever you've chosen. We'll take a nice big breath reaching up to the sky. And then find an exhalation as you twist to the right side, keeping an upright spine. And then exhale, make your way to the left side, again, keeping that upright spine. And as you come back to center, find that prop that you're going to rest your head on. Take your time, slow roll all the way to your back, and then elevate your head on that blanket or block or book, whatever you have. From here, we're going to bring the bottom of our feet together and let the knees rest outward to the sides for Supta Baddha Konasana, your reclined butterfly pose. In the arrival of that, let your palms face up. Very slowly move your head from side to side, massaging the back of your skull. You can start to exhale through your mouth, coming back to releasing all the muscles of your face. Very conscious relaxation of the tongue and the jaw. Feel the heaviness of your shoulders and your arms. Listening to the whisper of your breath. There's only one you, and that wonderful, unique sound of your breath. And if you're still moving your head from side to side at some point, just find a central space, bringing balance to the left and right side of your skull. And inward fold. So as you exhale, sinking deeper into the body. Releasing towards the earth. Softening the internal space. So all the muscles and all the organs, as heavy as can be. If you desire to remove the item from underneath your skull, you can remove the item. Just bringing your head back to the earth. We're going to take 5 more thoughtful breaths, honoring a sense of stillness and peace for your being. And then enter the depth of your breath. And separate your toes from each other carefully, bringing your knees back. rocking from side to side. Maybe letting the knees rest on the right side for a moment and reaching with your left arm. And then releasing the left arm and carrying the knees to the right side, reaching with the right arm. Returning to a last and final full body stretch. And then carefully walk your feet to the earth. And we'll roll to whichever side you want to roll to. We're making our way back up to a seated pose. If you would like to sit on something today, you're more than welcome to find something to sit on. And in the arrival, allow your spine to be upright. Just close your eyes for a moment. And thank yourself for all the time and attention you brought to your being today. Let's take a moment to release your head down and roll it over to the left shoulder, and then roll it over to the right shoulder. Just a few times, side to side. And once the chin comes back down, we're going to interlace the fingers behind the skull and let the elbows hang heavy. And pressing the skull into the head, rising the head back up, reaching with your arms. Bringing the elbows down the sides. Sweep the hands forward, look up, reach up. Exhale, elbows down. Just once more forward, look up, reach up. And this time as you bring your elbows down, you'll bring your hands together before your heart. And bowing to that internal space, knowing the light within and its connectedness to all beings and all things. And I thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.